I'm happy to have you come later. Just tagging a few friends, as I like to do, so you'll know I'm here in case you were thinking about watching. Okay, so tonight I'm making chicken and dumplings. That was a request from Bob's sister, Bonnie Cardinal. Not something I've really made a lot in the past, so I did a little research. Good Southern cooking though. See, I love American cooking. Southern, it's like all about butter and carbs and all that good stuff. And, you know, we've been sort of allowing ourselves to do some of that comfort food lately. So I've researched it. I remember chicken and dumplings from when I was a kid. My mom made it sometimes. I always found the dumplings kind of heavy and gooey and starchy, and I wasn't a big fan. So I did some research today to find out how to make them as light as possible. And a few things I learned from the good old Joy of Cooking, because that's a good source for American cooking always, the Joy of Cooking. There it is. Oh, it looks backwards to you. Okay. Something I learned, one thing, whatever you do with dumplings, you're going to use a very wide pan. So I picked my widest heavy fry pan that also has a lid. So because it's going to need the lid afterwards. So I started with a nice heavy fry pan. That's one thing I learned. Of course, they have to be cooked in stock. So I made a stock this afternoon. I made it as flavorful as I possibly could. Simmered all afternoon. There's the leftovers from the stock in the sink. Lots of good stuff in there. And there were several different recipes for dumplings in the Joy of Cooking, and I chose this one. It says here, I'm going to read this to you. We believe that dumplings reached their peak in a small Kentucky town when we were served chicken with dumplings, the latter as light as thistledown. Oh, yes, said the hotel proprietress wearily. They are always that way when the cook is drunk. Okay, well, I'm in. I thought, okay, well, that's the recipe for me. So anyway, I've got that ready to go, and I'm going to finish off the chicken stew fricassee. It's actually a stew fricassee that the dumplings are going to sit on top of, and then I'm going to make the dumplings. So I've got a few things ready to get going. I've browned the chicken in lots of butter. Like I said, this is American, not Italian cooking, so they're browned in butter. I've got the butter there. We're going to make a roux, and then we're going to put some vegetables in there, and then we're going to make the dumplings to go on top. Okay, so here's Bobby.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
And I'm gonna turn this around so Bobby can film. Okay, come on around, Bob.
Yep.
Here we go.
Alrighty. Right there you are.
Okay. So first off, I've got this butter left over from browning the chicken. It was a good, like maybe almost like it was a quarter cup. And I'm going to put that back on the heat because I'm going to make a roux out of what's left. But I'm going to do it with onions. So this is just a slightly different way to make a roux. Get the
Oh, I press tag friends. I guess I shouldn't have.
Yeah, I've already done that.
It's still recording that way. You've
Yep.
already done that?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm way ahead of me.
All right. So the you're going to put the onions in there. Just let that heat up again. I turned it off while I was waiting for you guys to come. So we want all those brown bits, of course. There's flavor. I had lots of salt and pepper on the chicken to begin with as well. So it's already got lots of salt and pepper in there. Okay, just one onion. Now, another thing that I did earlier, I've got my stock here simmering because it's going to take a lot of stock. But earlier I took out about a cup and a half here. I have it here and to cool. I actually put a couple ice cubes in there to cool it down because when you make a roux, as I taught you before, if you put the stock or the liquid in hot on hot, you risk making lumps. So you don't, you want something cold. So I took some out of there earlier to cool it down. Oh, look at all that butter. Hoo-wee. So now that I've got those onions coming translucent, I'm going to sprinkle on a cup of flour. Remember I had a cup of butter, so the same amount with a roux. You want equal parts flour and butter. I had a cup of butter, now I've got a cup of flour, and I'm going to let it cook down like a roux. I'm scraping, as you can see, to get all that good stuff off the bottom there. I would have loved to use my cast iron pan. That would be much better, I think, but I don't have a lid that fits it on top. So because I need a lid for the dumplings, I use this pan. Okay, really getting bubbly, a beautiful roux coming along. I want to really, as you know, cook off the proteins of the flour so it doesn't have a floury taste. So into there is going to go my veggies. I've got mushrooms, carrots, celery. So we've got the three sisters again, onion, carrot, and celery. I've added mushrooms and a couple of shallots for extra flavor. And I'm going to nestle that chicken back in there because it's all going to cook together. The chicken is halfway cooked at least from browning. And the other reason to use a big pan like this is because you don't want the chicken to be crowded when you're browning it. So that's another reason for a nice big wide pan. Nestle those down in there. And now, oh, wait a sec. I didn't, just a sec, sorry. Sorry guys, I didn't add the liquid.
Back up, back up.
Back up. Isn't that just like me? Okay. And goes that cool liquid.
No harm, no harm.
So it's starting the gravy is what it's doing. Because there's a quarter cup of flour in there, so it's starting up the gravy. However, because we're making dumplings, we have to have a lot more liquid than that. So it's going to be really, really soupy. And if I find I want it thicker later, I will thicken it. I'll make a more roux and thicken it again. That's possible. Now in goes the chicken and the juices that have collected. And some oven mitts so we don't have an accident.
Oh, bring it back.
Yeah, hi, that's Rhea. Hi, Rhea. Who else is there? Joe. Hi, Joe and Lynn Griffin. Hi, guys. Wonderful. Okay. Giuseppe. Joe, I'll bet you he's really good at Italian cooking. I could take a lesson there. Okay, we're going to submerge the chicken because when we get the dumplings ready, they're going to sit on top of that. We're going to let that come to the boil. No, simmer, I'm sorry. Yeah, in my research on dumplings, it must be at the simmer, not at the boil, or you will make the dumplings might break apart and they'll definitely not be as light as you want them to be. So just at the simmer in a wide pot. Okay, time to make the dumplings. You can go on round to the other side there, Bob.
Lynn says hello.
Hi, Lynn. Lynn had suggested I try Bisquick. I don't have any Bisquick. It's not a thing I keep in my pantry. Apparently you can make this quite nice dumplings with Bisquick. Okay, so into here I'm going to sift, going to get it as light as possible. 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Oh, and I want to tell you something I was thinking about today. Amy posted today that you know, people are worried their kids are going to get behind while they're at home. No, they're going to be ahead. They're going to be ahead in family life, in relationships, and why not in fractions? A half and a quarter measuring cup, I have 3/4 of a cup. I mean, I taught math for years, and the kids who got math just made the leaps, or the kids who had baked and who had measured things and who used money. All those real life things they bring to school. It's not school that really teaches them that on a core level. It's the things that you do with them. So, you know, there's no reason to think your kids are going to be behind. There's every reason to think that they're going to be ahead.
Yeah, put them to work. Put them
Not
to work.
But this is not work. This is play. This is what
Oh,
you're
well,
supposed to do.
yeah,
Whatever you're doing is what
yeah,
they want to do.
yeah.
That's why you get in the way, right?
But physicality is what I
And-
mean, really.
Oh, wait. And a half a cup, in good Southern fashion, of cornmeal, which is the same as an Italian cooking for, I make polenta out of this. If anybody's interested, we can make polenta one day. It's a very easy thing. So half a cup of cornmeal in there. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, because after all we want it as light as a feather. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. A teaspoon of salt, because it is a savory, so lots of salt. Sift all that together. Good thing I sifted it. What was in there? And then it said milk, but I know that in the South they use buttermilk, and I had some buttermilk. So it's 1/3 of a cup, I think. 1/3 of a cup. Buttermilk makes things light as well. And an egg, which I have warmed up, because anytime you want your eggs to be light, you need to be at room temperature. So I always warm them up in a bowl of warm water for baking or anything like that. Put that right in there, and I'm going to whisk that together. And now, whisk this right into there. It's going to be thick. Oops. Now there is another recipe that just uses cake flour, actually. If Laura is watching, I know you had some cake flour in the pantry. This is a place to use it up. You can use a full cup of cake and pastry flour for dumplings, along with basically the same recipe without the cornmeal. Okay, if it's too thick, go ahead and add some more milk, but I won't know that until I've given it a good stir.
Laura just checked in.
Hi, Laura. I was just talking about you. I was saying, I know you've got cake and pastry flour in the pantry. And there is a recipe. If I can just find my glasses. A different recipe for this. Instead of the cornmeal, uses 1 cup of cake flour. And, yeah, same recipe, basically. Maybe a little more milk. But this is going to need more milk anyway. It's not a batter at this moment. We want to be able to drop it by spoonfuls. Okay, there we go. I think it should look about like that, but I don't know for sure. I'm just checking her out, like I said. We're experimenting. Okay, so let's see how the stew is coming. Really nice. I'm going to trim that just a bit. It's not quite
Can I come around and have a
Yes,
peek
please
too?
come around. Yeah,
Yeah.
come around.
All right. What do we got
So-
here? Oh yeah.
What's going to happen is that the dumplings are going to puff. So I'm going to get a spoon and a spoon. And we're going to put them right on top in little mounds, right on top.
Hi, Dana.
Hi, Dana. Hi. I'm going to put them right in. I know Dana makes spetzel, which is a kind of a European. She's got some Polish influence in her cooking, and spetzel is the European style of dumplings. Gnocchi, that's Italian dumplings. There's potato dumplings. These are cornmeal dumplings. So these are really Southern American kind of cooking. Not South American. I don't mean South American. I mean Southern Kentucky.
I'm going to zoom in on the spoon action here, Sandy. Don't hit me.
Okay. Just make it little. These take about 10 to 15 minutes. You check them just like you check a cake with a toothpick. If it comes out clean, they're done. Are some of them starting to puff? Man, oh man, Bob, this is going to be a lot of chicken and dumplings just for the two of us.
I'll do my best.
You know, I've always thought that you go to school and you have subjects. You have social studies, math, language arts, whatever. You know what? There's a subject missing. The most important subject of all. You've probably heard that when people are dying, they tell you it wasn't their career that mattered. It wasn't how much money they had, how much fame. We were just reading about Roy Halladay today. Died last year, and we found out that his body was just loaded with amphetamines and morphine. So that, you know, fame and talent and money is just no guarantee. There's just no guarantee of a successful life, depending on how you define success. When my Uncle Bill was dying, Bob and I were there. Not the day he died, but a couple of days before he died, and he had a brain tumor. And he was at home. He was in his bed in the dining room. You know how they do. Okay, I'll finish that story in a second. He's starting to puff and get light. Oh, they are. Now, it's got to stay simmer. Turn down. I'm going to put the lid on so I can watch them. A glass lid apparently is just the ticket, so you can watch them. And you let them steam in there, just on simmer. And just turn it down even a bit more until they're done. So I'm just going to finish this little story about my Uncle Bill. So Uncle Bill was a favorite uncle of mine, and never ever missed an opportunity to tell me that he was proud of me. You know, it's hard to come by. Anyway, he had a brain tumor, and he had lost speech, and he was desperately wanting to tell me something. Desperately. And I got him really close, and I said to him, it's okay. It's okay, Uncle Bill. You don't have to tell me. I already know. But he wouldn't give up. He wouldn't give up. And so I got him really close, and he worked so hard at it, and he said just one word to me. Family. That's what he said. Family. So that's the subject that's missing. Relationships, family. However you define family, because like I think I've talked about it, it doesn't have to be the people that are blood related to you necessarily. We've just met Bonnie, who I'm making these dumplings for, who is Bob's sister, blood related, and we're just coming to know her. We want to hope that the people we're blood related to are the people who are closest to us, but they aren't always. And so we can do that right now. Our kids are going to be ahead. They're going to be ahead. They're not going to be behind. They're going to be ahead. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to say to you today about this time. Thank you for that, Amy Joy, who posted that today. It made me get thinking about that. Look at the dumplings! Yeah, they're really puffing up. Oh my goodness. So we're not supposed to take the lid off. We're supposed to leave the lid on, not to be tempted, and leave it at a simmer. And in about 10 minutes, those are going to be done. We're going to have that in big bowls. I have to just check them with a toothpick, make sure that they're done. And that's it for me tonight. Chicken dumplings. Who's sending love?
Dana.
Hi, Dana. Sending love right back at you. Let me turn this around so Bob can talk to everybody for a minute.
What do you want me to say?
Say hi.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're going to enjoy this meal. I know I will. And I'll probably enjoy it twice because there's an awful lot there. Okay. Enjoy and have the best of days. Thank you.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night.